was the MSBOA High School etude for the All-State auditions for 2013. I urge you to come back and listen to this several times to get used to how it sounds. And I put the full running of the etude at the beginning of this video so you don't have to watch the boring commentary every time. It's going to be found on page 121 of the Blue Book, and you can find it, and it's called a Gallet etude, and it's listed as 104. The metronome marking is 100. So it starts off with a snappy pickup, and you want to make it really dotted. You don't want it to be lazy or sound like a triplet. Hear how I emphasize the downbeats of every measure. You really want to have it go toward those downbeats to give it really a nice musical shape. By the way, if you want to put measure numbers in your etude, it might be helpful to keep track of what I'm talking about. I will be referring to measure numbers throughout this tutorial. So in the first few measures, we have this dotted rhythm as a pickup to several phrases. And starting in the pickup to measure 7, you have a phrase that goes from the top note to the bottom note in one measure. That's probably going to be the toughest little spot in this whole etude. What might help is if you observe the diminuendo going down, then the low C might come out a little easier because you're not having to kill it and play it real loud. So that might take a lot of practice, but it's not that hard. It's not too loud, so you can probably do it if you have all those notes in your register. And then the middle section starts at the pickup of measure 9. You have a phrase with a lovely slur up to a high G. Take your time on the slur, make it nice. And then there's staccato notes all around it too, so make a nice contrast between the crisp staccato and the slurs. The middle C in measure 11, you can finger that on the B-flat horn. Trigger open. Might make the fingering a little easier, and might make the slur of the 9th from the middle C up to the D a little easier. Then pick up to measure 13, the same phrase with the slur up to the high G repeats, and then immediately you have something called con forza, and that is exactly what it sounds like, con forza, with force, with power. You want to immediately get a little louder and a little more aggressive when you reach that spot. And again, observe the contrast between the staccato notes and the slurred notes. And then starting in measure 17, you have a series of slurs that start big and diminuendo. Make nice contrast with those. Then in measure 21, it lands on a A-flat, which signals the start of the minor key. So for those kind of measures, it's going to be a little mysterious, a little spooky. So you want to try to bring that out. And then it finishes up with a very soft diminuendo, and then the final little section, starting at measure 25, where you have a dotted figure slurring all the way down to a middle C. In each of those, you want to have a big start and then a quick diminuendo on each one. okay to take your time at the end. It's leading up to a fermata, and then it goes back into the recapitulation, starting back at the beginning, which they don't require. You're only required to learn up to measure 31 for the audition. So for more information about auditioning for All-State Band and Orchestra, visit msboa.org, and I wish you the best of luck.